Hi, I'm J.P. Osterman, and today I'm reading a portion of Chapter 1 from my science fiction novel, Battlefield Matrix, Book 2 in the Nelta series. Chapter 1, Matrix Blackout. Sometimes, old technology, like this Canon A95 digital camera I'm holding, is the best technology, especially now since this blackout started. It's battery driven. My parents had it before they died and I almost recycled it. Thank God I didn't, because now I can record what's happening when no one else can. Alyssa's camera slid sideways, but she realigned it and resumed recording and narrating the scene. Oops, sorry. She checked her watch, stalled at 7:05 p.m. I'm Dr. Alyssa Holton. Today is Monday, February 27, 2068. I just landed at the Richmond Clinton Airfield in Virginia. This blackout began sweeping through the East Coast at 6:45 p.m., so I'm hearing people say. On the way down here from Research Station 2, I did see all the lights and advertising beacons gradually extinguish from the north. I was wondering what the heck was happening. Now I know. But I never would have believed a quantum computer matrix blackout could occur on a global scale, leaving everyone in the dark. She pointed the camera toward the north sky. No stars yet. The matter stream sample has healed the ozone, but because of the powerful tropopause shield, we can only see light from the moon and the 5 space stations. A small argument broke out behind her. 2 people fighting over what triggered the blackout. One man yelled, "Someone definitely attacked the Matrix." A group of racing scientists stopped the fight by yelling out the ground zero location. They also confirmed the attack. Those who heard the news either dashed for overcrowded exits or sprinted outside toward the lifts to catch hovercraft docking and taking off high up on lily pad platforms. The news circulated through the crowd like the residual light trickling from LED walls and solar panels. Earth's matrix, Terra 2, was responsible for processing energy to everything. Terra appeared dead. The attack is coming from the North Pole, Alyssa continued, recording the chaos. That's what experts are saying. She felt her throat dry and a bit disoriented as she stepped outside baggage claim leading to the hovercraft thoroughfares. With people crying and shouting all around her, she resumed recording the scene. She could see the old paved and potholed streets under the dead magnetic grid that was still attempting to electrify and connect to the Matrix. Everywhere there seems to be a bit of stored energy, but only enough to keep people from dying, she said. The latest shiny fission fusion vehicles were darting in and out of frozen guidance beams like disoriented hummingbirds. Some were stalled or burping in midair. At the end of all the skyline airstrips, craft were shutting down in dead mode. The ones still in the sky, miles high, were slowly gliding back to the airfield, where outdated emergency vehicles were blaring their horns and waiting on idle to assist them. Beyond the sky lane thoroughfares were 2 biodomes and 2 glass towers, their sleek facades dwindling through the stored energy. People could rent rooms there, attend conferences, descend to the subways, or embark on meglivs and L-cars to other destinations. All their virtual ads had fizzled out, though. Seeing mass confusion suddenly on her right, Alyssa stopped to find her bearings as someone walked into her. Rubbing her shoulders, she waved for people to go around her. She was now yards away from a busy crossing. Again, she retested her wrist device to connect to Terra. Then she noticed that every portable tablet and interactive accessory around her was also dead and unresponsive. Nothing, not even a verbal app. The quantum computer seems to have lost all interpersonal capability. She began recording a woman shouting at her stalled avatar, like someone yelling at a disobedient dog on a leash. "Come on, we gotta go!" She was crying and appeared lost. "What do I do? How do I get you moving? Should I leave without you?" Her life-size avatar was holographic bright in its yellow projection light, but frozen, as were others alongside the curb and inside the building. People had called on them for help, but weren't receiving any answers, just blank avatar stares. One man threw down his portable tablet and stomped it into cinders. 2 attendants pushed him back and doused the sizzling silicon with water. If Richmond is at this level of confusion, the rest of the world must be in utter chaos, Alyssa said into her camera. Noticing it shaking with her trembling fingers, she tried steadying it by zooming in on orderly places inside baggage claim. The ceiling processors, 3D wall zone screens, and hub processing mounds on the walls inside the building. Then she panned the camera around places outside the building, positioned in strategic, matrix processing locations on the brick and stucco surfaces and on the exterior of all the advertising and security kiosks. Matrix processor mounds appeared structurally sound and thick in their beehive shapes, but only black in their concave niches, not rainbow processing. All the high towers supplying electromagnetic and photonic matrix connections to all those mounds and wall zones appeared like dead branches with thin black fractal limbs, their green light signals offline. Quickly panning through the scene again, she whispered, "So the difference is 20 minutes between the start of the blackout to now. It took 20 minutes for my ride to descend from Research Station 2 and disembark people here at the Richmond Airfield. Security is really tight. Enforcers are gunned up and running all over, targeting everything in the shadows." A disheveled Asian woman nearly ran into a stalled hover cart, stopped, and then shouted, "If Matrix techs can't resolve the blackout, I heard a stealth force officer just say that the 9 o'clock final communication with the Neltons might not happen." Alyssa zoomed in on her frightened expression. "It's gotta happen," a man stopped and cried. "I can't believe it won't," said another bystander, flipping closed his wrist device. He was a stealth force officer, out of uniform. Alyssa focused on his stealth force insignia on the cover of his wrist device, a gold eagle surrounded by 3 stars symbolizing Space Station 2. That meant he had the latest information, and he tried to comfort the panicking woman by telling her that, "It's true, lady. Before the blackout, I received a live stream from the Regency. Half of them are now inside the press room preparing the IMAX screen to process the quantum communication from the Decagon." Alyssa quickly turned the camera lens back on her face to continue her selfie report. "That's the accelerator between Mars and Jupiter. It receives the wormhole from Nelta and then transfers the quantum signals to the Nelton-based screen in the press room, where Terra 2, our quantum computer matrix, helps translate the communication some more, and the Neltons materialize and hold discussions with our people." Meanwhile, a small nervous crowd had assembled around the 3 arguing individuals, and the off-duty stealth force officer appeared almost ready to shake the panicking woman to her senses. She screamed, "Final communication might not happen. We could all wind up dead." Just as the officer was about to call a real person for help, because he forgot that his avatar wouldn't activate when he tried calling it for assistance, the woman dashed into a sky-lane thoroughfare with hover cars racing above her. But not before her statement ignited a wave of screams that seemed to ripple round the world. Everyone began repeating those words as if Earth might end. Final communication with the Neltons might not happen. That's Battlefield Matrix, Book 2 in my Nelta series. You can find it at Amazon. It's available for KDP and in paperback form. Will that final communication happen? Gotta read it for yourselves.